Will not believe the cast Weapons almost had, and it almost would have been a completely different movie. Now, we've all heard the stories of how scheduling conflicts can cause a ton of problems within the movie making business. As much as an actor might love to do a project, they might be signed to do something else, and unfortunately, they just can't do that film or television show. And it honestly wasn't that long ago when a ton of actors found themselves in a really tough situation with the writers and actors strike back in the summer of 2003. And they were unable to fulfill all their commitments after business was put on a standstill for a few months. Which brings us to Weapons. After a surprise hit with Barbarian, writer-director Cregger swung for the fences and put together a really awesome all-star cast for a second feature film. The original cast of Weapons consisted of Pedro Pascal as Archer, Renate Reinsve as Justine, Brian Tyree Henry as Marcus, and Tom Burke as Paul. Yeah, that's a pretty good cast. I am a big fan of all these actors, especially Renata, after being in one of my favorite films of all time and The Worst Person in the World. And I've been rocking with Brian since he was Paperboy in Atlanta. Paperboy, always about that paperboy. But if I'm being honest, the cast that we end up getting, I think they were pretty perfect in their roles. Look, I think all the original actors would have done great in their role. I think about Pedro as Archer. I think the film would probably have been 15 minutes long, especially when someone takes one of his kids, just acts Ellie and Grogu. But again, I'm glad that we got the cast that's in the current version of the film. I do think the OG cast would have put a very different vibe and tone with the movie, so who knows how it would have ended up. I'm not gonna lie though, having been following Brian Tyree Henry for a very long time, it would have been really interesting to see him pull off the Marcus role, especially seeing that brutal kitchen scene, and also when he attacked Justine and with those crazy eyes, that would have been a really different role for him. Anyway, what do you all think about the original cast versus the current cast? Would the film have been better, worse, completely different, or the same? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and for more movie discussions like this, consider subscribing and following for more.